Cold and flu season may be winding down, but germs can still linger, especially at home. So how do you stop the spread?
And well, our medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley, is joining us now to answer that very question. Dr. Coley, good morning.
Good morning.
How often do people get sick from others at home?
I mean, it's more than you would imagine. 60 to 80% of respiratory infections, gastrointestinal infections are spread by close contacts. And if someone at home is sick, you have about a 20 to 30% chance if you follow precautions. So even higher if you don't. And Corey, you know this, for those people that have children, they bring home germs. Kids are usually the super spreaders.
All the boogers and all the things, yes.
And they don't know about hand hygiene, and they're exposed to more things because of daycare and school. So
Right.
if you have children at home, they're super spreaders. You really have to follow these precautions.
Those super spreaders. All right.
Cute little super spreaders.
They are cute though, right? What surfaces should we be cleaning?
Okay, so think about all the high-touch surfaces. And these are things we don't normally think about, like the handles on our nightstand in the person's room that was sick, the doorknobs, the handles in the shower. The bathroom is a high-risk area, especially if you share the bathroom with somebody else. You want to be sure to wipe down everything. Bleach is really what they recommend, which is usually more potent than even some of those disinfectants. And then same thing in the kitchen, because people might be touching the kitchen, touching surfaces, and then you touch your food. Anything that you use to wipe down, such as the sponge, should actually be thrown out. So they recommend that you use paper towels to clean, just so that you're not ending up reusing it. And then finally, tablets, phones, and computer keyboards. These are things we don't normally think about, but when you're sick, you're watching TV, you're holding the remote, you're sitting on your computer, and so those have to be wiped down with electronic safe surfaces.
You should do that just regularly anyway. What about, you were talking a little bit about using a paper towel because it's easy to throw away. Just in general, items that we should consider maybe tossing once we're sick.
So this is one I didn't often think about. Your toothbrush, okay? So you can't make yourself sick again for most infections except strep throat. So if you have strep throat and you take antibiotics, as soon as you're done with those antibiotics, you actually should throw out your toothbrush. If you share a bathroom with somebody else, you should make sure that you use separate tubes of toothpaste right after you're sick as well, just to make sure you're not contaminating anything. You want to obviously throw out any face masks, any tissues, anything like that, but even any snacks that the person might have touched, like a bag of potato chips or anything else that they dip their fingers into.
Right.
Time to throw those out.
All right, so you talked about wiping down, throwing out. What about washing? What should we wash?
Everything you can, basically. So any towels, any sheets, and even the couch, you can spray, as you said, if you're sitting there and you're lying on the couch and you're coughing, you can spray some of those disinfectant sprays there. But anything that can go in the washer can. Now, the nice thing about this is you can wash it with regular clothes. You don't have to separate, but make sure you use extra hot water. And then make sure to wash any water bottles or any reusable containers, obviously dishes or anything like that, that the person might have touched or come into contact with.
That makes sense. When I was a kid and I would get sick, my mom would put a sheet across the couch so I could lay on it. So maybe that she could just pick that up.
That's a great
pretty
idea.
easy, and washing it easier than trying to throw your couch in the wash, I guess. Okay, anything else that maybe we need to consider over, of course, these, respiratory bugs that are still lingering?
The air filters at home. So think about our HVAC, right? We all have centralized heating and cooling, and so that air filter can actually trap those little virus particles. So as soon as somebody recovers from something, your child or anyone else, you go down to that HVAC and change that air filter, and then try to open up those windows as well, because just recirculating and ventilating that air can reduce your risk of getting sick substantially.
A lot of things I would not have thought
The
of.
toothbrush thing.
Right.
I mean, it makes so much sense, but why wouldn't I have ever thought of that?
I know, you just don't. Yeah, very interesting, Dr. Coley. Thank you so much. And you can find all of Dr. Coley's appearances on 9news.com/Dr. Coley.